You might not know this, but Etsy customers actually start shopping for fall and Halloween products as early as June and July. In fact, in one of my Etsy shops, we actually have sold our first Halloween stickers earlier than the 4th of July. We all know what kind of general themes work for Halloween, pumpkins, ghosts, black cats, bats, and other spooky things. But the truth is, it's actually very hard to rank for searches like Halloween when there's so much competition for these very generic styles and designs. So in this video, I'm going to show you what design styles and trends are going to be very popular this year on Etsy, the earliest indications that we have, and how you can incorporate these into your digital and printable products. So in our trends, we have everything Barbie pink, neon lights, gothic, snakes, skulls, and roses, what I'm gonna call retro horror, and celestial themes. Let me show you examples of each one of these trends. Now, when it comes to Barbie and all things pink, I just wanna say that it's extremely important that you don't use copyrighted or trademarked words and logos. So we don't wanna say Barbie itself, but we can use Barbie-inspired ideas like the all-pink color palettes and some of the bubbly style fonts, like this example right here of this Barbie Malibu vibe bachelorette party invitation. We're actually seeing pink things pop up all over Etsy for Halloween trends. So if you're making any kind of Halloween printables, making them in color palettes of playing on pink, I think is a smart way to go this holiday season. Now let's get into a kind of surprising new trend, and that is everything a little bit gothic. So in particular, we're seeing snakes, lots and lots of skulls, and a little bit of kind of like roses, botanical elements, lots of structural, like sort of think antique architecture style items. This is really fun, and I think that it is something you can play around with in your design. So if you make invitations, printables, party games, planners, anything like that, I would be thinking of multiple styles that you could be creating that sort of fit within each of these things. A couple of ideas I have based on search trends that have relatively low competition as they are showing on eRank are, for example, Halloween banners. You could make this in a style with lots of glam gold snakes and people could print out the Halloween banners. Or maybe you do fall or Halloween bingo using skulls and roses and dripping elements and kind of like make a bingo or word search for adults game. Now, this trend came along last year, but it's going to be extremely popular again. And I think that's all things retro Halloween, but we're seeing another element of it, and that's like retro horror. So think 1970s groovy retro vibes in that like fun pink, oranges, greens, yellow color palette, with spooky elements and horror elements added in. It's a little quirky and fun, but we're seeing it across all of Etsy's trends on eRank, Insight Factory, looking at what items are already popular on Etsy this year. So you want to think about using keywords around spooky, babes, ghouls, families, one spooky little family, anything like that, and adding a retro element to your designs themselves. I will also say that the horror vibe to this is kind of nostalgic. People are feeling really nostalgic about like old horror movies from like the 70s to the 90s. And we can see this playing out in t-shirt designs, in printables, in escape room games and trivia games, anything that people will be buying for Halloween parties or Halloween home decor. Keep in mind, once again, you want to stay away from anything that could be subject to copyright infringement. So we don't want to use the exact titles of movies or anything that would be trademarked, such as someone's face or brand logo or brand design. But you can incorporate some of those horror style elements, dripping red blood or like old movie styles. And I think some of these examples here are really good fun plays on those. So if you make things in sort of the games or home decor category and you think that retro horror is a good fit for your niche and your target audience, this is a trend I would be using this Halloween. And the final trend here, this is really going to play well into sort of the aesthetic lifestyle niche, and that is all things moons and celestial. Now, we've seen this for a while, but I think it's going to play up big in Halloween trends. So here's a couple of examples of printable art that I've seen. They're using slightly softer color palettes and incorporating things like moons, witches, references to Salem, like lots of star designs, plays on black and white with other colors layered in like pink or purple. And this is a trend I do think we will see across all Etsy product niches for Halloween, like t-shirts, but also printable, like home decor art prints, party printables, things like that. Now, when it comes to incorporating these trends into your digital products, you might still be wondering, how do you make that work? If you're not putting the design on, let's say, a t-shirt, you're not print on demand. So I'm gonna give you a couple of tips. One is that you don't need to use every single trend. Just pick one or two of these trends for your Halloween products that are going to feel like a natural extension of your brand, of your style of products that already exist. And you want it to be relevant to your target customer. So for example, if you sell a lot of printables to parents and you sell things like baby shower invites or kids coloring pages or kids car games, then maybe you want to use the retro Halloween vibe or the Barbiecore pink Halloween vibe to create some Halloween style products. On the other hand, if you sell a lot of things for adults or home decor, you might be better off using some of the Gothic design elements like skulls and snakes and spiders. Any of these trends that I've talked about in this video can absolutely be used in digital and printable products, and using them is going to give you an advantage during the Halloween shopping season, which starts now and continues all the way through October 31st. You also don't need to use every single element. If you're using the Gothic trend, you could just use one thing, just like architectural castle style elements or just snakes. You don't have to use every single thing. You also want to think about what would work best for your product. If it's a printable, you might not want to use a lot of heavy color design. If someone's trying to save money on the ink in their printer, on the other hand, if it's an invitation, maybe you can go more color heavy. It is important, I think, to pick one single color palette for all of your Halloween products, and that way you create a collection of products that makes it easy for your customers to recognize that your shop is the one selling the products because they have a consistent brand or consistent vibe across all of your different products. This is going to help your shop as a whole not only establish a brand, but be recognizable to your customers. And this is a practice that I would do with each type of seasonal products or seasonal trend that you create. Is I would pick one set of customized colors and really one or two main design trends to incorporate for each season, such as Halloween or Christmas. I hope that you found these trends very helpful in brainstorming and creating and selling your money-making Halloween digital and printable products on Etsy. If you want to learn more about how to grow your Etsy shop or make extra money online selling digital products, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.